Hello, this time we are at the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, which is the second longest festival that Epcot has each year. This time we are going to be covering this in two parts because there are some offerings that are only available through the second half of the festival. First up, we headed over to the Florida Fresh booth over at Communicore Hall. This is where we got the Cuban, which was pretty good. Eric is from Miami, and he said this was on par with what he expects from a Cuban. Nothing too special, but pretty good. However, the star of this booth really has to be the conch fritters. These came with a key lime aioli that really sent it over the top. This was probably our favorite thing that we ate all day, and I'm not even someone who likes seafood usually. We paired both of those with the cucumber watermelon slush with gin. I also am not a huge fan of gin, but this was really nicely balanced. It wasn't overpowering. The watermelon was pretty boozy though. Next up was the Beach Grub Hut. Here we got the seafood bake, which was just okay. It wasn't really that seasoned. The sausage and the potatoes were kind of and the shrimp was like kind of just bland, honestly. Eric was trying to steal some of the sauce from my corn to liven this one up. And the corn was actually what I was looking forward to the most on this trip. I love roasted corn, as you can tell from my last video, and this one was really good. The cheese was probably the only thing that I was kind of on because it wasn't real cheese. Next up, we headed over to the Honey Bistro. Here we went ahead and got the chicken and waffles with it was a whipped honey butter, and then that was paired with sort of a dessert milkshake of sorts, which was a peach cobbler type of drink.
And waffle. The chicken was an ample piece. It was basically a chicken tender, but it was breaded well. It was
I feel like it was like a chicken patty, like you would get on like a chicken sandwich, maybe.
Possibly. The shape of it.
It was breast, definitely.
Yeah. But the real star was the honey that they put on it.
Yeah.
And also that cornbread. The cornbread waffle basically falls apart when you try to cut it, so it doesn't keep together well like a traditional chicken and waffle, but it is delicious, especially with the butter that they put on it, the honey butter.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes together really well. It's actually also a nice substantial portion. Like I feel like this is a bomb on your stomach, so if you want to try other things, either save this for last or try this first, because you're either going to spend more or less money because this is such a heavy dish, but very satisfying.
And then the freeze.
I didn't know it was blueberry until you told me. I just got this hit. It almost tasted floral for a moment. Then when you stirred it up, then I really got the blueberry from it. It's almost like I don't want to call it coquito, but
a little bit
reminds me of that.
Like a fruity coquito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Very good. I like both of them. Lots of honey.
Give me the rest.
No.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, and don't use the straw because the straw just soaks up all of the vodka and you get nothing but the vodka.
Oh God.
So definitely use a spoon. And the vodka is settled at the bottom, kind of like the Dole Whips at
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom. So make sure that you give it a good stir.
In a
after
way,
you...
it's a dessert with alcohol. You sip it if you want the dessert, and use the straw if you want the shot.
And it's both ways. If you just want it no alcohol, you can get that. And with alcohol, you can get that.
Hoy me he despertado con mucha tristeza, sabiendo que mañana ya te vas de mí, ay, te juro mi vida.
After that, we headed over to Mexico and we tried the elderflower and cucumber margarita. This was pretty good, though it just kind of tasted a lot like a regular margarita, but just a little bit more light and refreshing to me. But in addition to that, we tried the, I called it the sweetheart drink. I couldn't pronounce the first word in it. It's got mezcal, lemon juice, orange blossom honey, and this one was really good. I think this one was the star out of the two drinks. Honestly, I liked this one better, and so did Eric. And in addition to that, we got the Gigante tostada. This is probably one of the best tostadas I've ever had. The tortilla was very thin, very, very crispy. It didn't fall apart like most tostadas that I've had, and it just had a lot of good flavor. After that, we headed over to the refreshment outpost, the area over by Africa. There we tried the Jamaican beef patty, which is made with impossible beef. I didn't really care for the texture of this. Eric didn't mind it. The outside is what we really didn't like, though it was different than what you would usually get for a beef patty. It didn't really have that flaky outside texture that you usually get. The flavors inside and the spice of it was really good, though, and it kind of reminded us of this lentil soup that they had there a few years ago. And our last stop was in Germany for some potato pancakes with applesauce.
Thoughts on the potato?
Yes.
I thought it was just pretty mediocre. You could probably make better potato pancakes at home. I mean, they're not bad. You just wish they were a little bit crispier. They're more like just if you went to eat breakfast at a diner and they give you hash browns and they were just kind of underdone. That's basically what it was. Yeah, so applesauce was perfectly fine. I'd feel without the applesauce, it would have been a train wreck.
Yeah.
But it pulled it together, and it's if you need some potatoes in your stomach, you know, it's a spot, and I can't really complain for like, what, $4? So they didn't do anything wrong. It just seemed underwhelming compared to everything else that's available.
And that's it for our first trip to the International Flower and Garden Festival. This festival is running through to the beginning of June, so I'm sure we will be making another trip, if not a couple more trips, and we'll follow up with you then. Until next time, thank you for joining us.